You know, when you think of ancient Europe, your mind probably jumps to places like Rome or Athens. But what if I told you there's a city where a whole 2,000-year saga of emperors, earthquakes, and entire empires wasn't just written in books, but in its very buildings? Today, we're going to explore Szombathely, a city in Hungary where every single stone tells an incredible story of survival. And that quote, it's really the heart of it all. It's the key to understanding this place. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to treat the city itself like a history book. We'll churn its architectural pages and see how it was built, completely shattered, and then reborn time and time again. It's an absolutely amazing story of resilience. All right, let's dive into our first section, a history written in stone. And look, that's not just a cool-sounding metaphor. We're going to literally peel back the layers of Szombathely to see how all these different forces, earthquakes, wars, new empires, each left their own unique signature on the city. Now, the key word on this slide is continuously. Think about that. A lot of ancient cities, they were abandoned. They became ruins, and then we rediscovered them. Not Szombathely. It was never empty. It just absorbed every shock, every invasion, every new ruler, and it made it part of its physical identity. So every ruin you see isn't a sign of failure. It's a medal for its incredible resilience. Okay, on to our next chapter. Roman roots, medieval forts. Here, we're going way back to the very beginning, from its grand, perfectly planned Roman origins to its later transformation into a tough, gritty medieval stronghold that was built for just one thing: survival. So, the story kicks off way back in 43 AD. The Roman Emperor Claudius founds the city, calls it Savaria. But look what happens next. The Roman Empire starts to crumble, and then, bam, a catastrophic earthquake hits in 456 AD. Now, this isn't just some date on a timeline. It's the moment that completely changes the game. It reshapes the city's entire architectural DNA for centuries. And you have to understand, Roman Savaria wasn't just some random settlement. No, it was a masterpiece of imperial planning. We're talking a precise grid layout, stone-paved roads, public baths, grand temples, even an amphitheater. This was not a frontier outpost. This was a city designed to show off Roman power and create a really sophisticated way of life. And then, well, everything changed. As the Roman Empire collapsed, the city's priorities did a complete 180. Grandeur didn't matter anymore. All that mattered was sheer survival. So those beautiful villas? They were replaced by simple, defensive structures. Beauty took a backseat to just staying safe. And you can really see that change here. Just look at the difference. On the left, Romanesque architecture is all about defense. Thick walls, tiny windows. I mean, it's basically a fortress that you happen to pray in. But then later, look at the Gothic style on the right. It shows this renewed sense of confidence. It's reaching for the sky with these soaring arches and huge windows, just flooding the inside with light. It's a signal that stability is back. So let's move into our third section, Baroque splendor. Because after centuries of just trying to get by, Szombathely doesn't just recover, it completely reinvents itself with this breathtaking new architectural style, one that's all about drama, emotion, and just pure ambition. But before you get this incredible rebirth, you have to have total destruction. The Ottoman Wars just leveled the medieval city, leaving it in ruins. And that devastation created a blank slate. Not by choice, of course, but by tragedy, and that set the stage for a really radical transformation. And what fills that void? Baroque architecture. But here's the thing you have to understand. Baroque wasn't just about looking fancy. It was a tool of power. Rulers in the church used this incredibly dramatic, emotional, over-the-top style to inspire awe and basically declare, we're in charge. And if you want the perfect example, look no further than the Szombathely Cathedral. It's the ultimate expression of this idea. Its perfect symmetry, those soaring twin towers, the ridiculously rich interior, none of that was just for decoration. The entire building was engineered to make you feel small in the face of overwhelming divine and earthly power. It's architecture as psychology. But of course, styles never last forever, right? As the Enlightenment started to take hold, all that emotional drama of the Baroque gave way to the calm, rational order of neoclassicism. So think less opera, more Greek and Roman logic. It was a style that celebrated reason and balance over pure emotion. Then, the 19th century comes along and just kicks everything into high gear. The railways arrive, and the city booms. And this new style of architecture, called eclectic, was basically a confident mix and match of past styles. It was used for these grand new public buildings.
theaters, schools, town halls, all designed to show off the city's brand new wealth and civic pride.
All right, now we come to the city's most recent, and maybe its most traumatic, chapter. This part of the story is really about the deep, deep scars left by the 20th century, and the modern effort to remember and honor a very complex past. I mean, you can't overstate what a catastrophe World War II was for the city's history. Heavy bombing raids didn't just damage a few buildings, they completely erased entire streets. Roman ruins, Baroque homes, centuries of history, gone in a matter of moments.
So after the war, the city basically had two radically different paths forward architecturally. First, during the socialist era, the priority was pure function over beauty. That's where you get all these stark, concrete apartment blocks. But more recently, there's been this conscious swing back towards honoring the past. Modern architecture is now focused on preservation, on integrating sleek new designs that respect the city's ancient layers.
And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started. Because Szombathely today is a literal city of layers. You can stand on a street corner and see Roman foundations right next to a magnificent Baroque church, just across from a modern glass building. It's a living, breathing timeline of survival and memory, all in one place.
So, in the end, what the story of Szombathely's architecture really proves is that a city is never just finished. It's a living document that's constantly negotiating between its past and its future. And that leaves us with this really powerful question, one that you could ask about any great city. How do you honor everything that you have been while you're busy building what you are yet to become?